to another video. Today it is my July lookbook. Now I am trying to be very strict about my lookbooks and actually film them and show you exactly what I made within that month, regardless of how many things I said I was going to do in my plans video. I think my plans video had 17 projects in it and I have completed 10. Yes, 10. But never mind, I'm going to show you those ones today, and I'm going to do it in the order in which I completed them. First up is this tie front shirt. This is the Vogue 9345 pattern that I have turned into a little tie front shirt with the Gertie for Butterick 5951. It's not that number. That is the dress that I like. I think I will have put the details up on the screen and also in the description down below. I always list everything in the description down below. This fabric is the Dolce & Gabbana banana leaf cotton lawn that I got from Dibs at Selvage and Bolts, and I've actually made a full dress version of this from this fabric, fully lined with white cotton lawn as this one is, because the fabric is sheer. My sister-in-law and I and mum went to see Dibs in person at Selvage and Bolts last year, nearly this time last year, and she happened to have a remnant of this fabric for sale, so Big Bird bought it, made Baby Bother a very fancy shirt from it, and I got the remnants, which was awesome because I had 3.5 meters, so I ended up with a decent 50cm chunk left, and then with the remnants I had enough to cut out this shirt, and I absolutely love it. I've worn it a couple of times. I've already got strawberries spilt down the front of it because I dropped a strawberry whilst I was eating it, because of course I did, this is me. So yeah, I absolutely love this. I think it's gorgeous. I am so pleased that I managed to eke this out of my scraps and Big Bird scraps, and I love this pattern. I am going to be doing a 5 looks from one pattern video featuring this pattern, which should be coming up at the beginning of September, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But love this a lot. I mean, I really love this because then I have lengthened the bodice of that shirt dress. This is again the 9345. I have made it into a shirt with giant sleeves with cuffs on. It's got cuffs and a continuous lap in it. They are an addition that I have added. The pattern would have you just leave these giant sleeves flapping free. I mean, I would get them in everything if they weren't corralled into cuffs. So I've made my pirate shirt of dreams. I mean, it's kind of fancy pirate, but it's absolutely awesome. I fully lined the body of this because this fabric is ever so sheer. It's a viscose that I got from Indian Royal Treasures via eBay, and again I'll list that in the description down below. The only thing that doesn't have a double layer are the sleeves, and I actually like how that's come out. It's still a little sheerer than I would like, but in the twirls I am wearing a black bra with a nude slip. I hadn't quite thought my underwear solutions through for today's lookbook. I actually don't think you can see that I'm wearing a black bra. I love how this has turned out. I love how versatile it's going to be in my wardrobe. I brought down some pieces that I made from the Savannah collection, the summer weight silk skirt and waistcoat, and I love how this looks underneath that, and it's very smart, but also like I would totally wear that to, I don't know, if I worked in an office, that would be my, I would be wearing that all the time, but I can see myself wearing it on a day-to-day basis as well because I just love how it feels. And it's kind of weird for me, the fuller the skirt the more casual it is, the slimmer the skirt the more office appropriate it is. I don't know how that works in my head, but that's how things get interpreted in my head. So that full skirt means that it's totally completely appropriate for everyday wear. I absolutely love this, and again, like I say, there will be a video about making or hacking patterns to make them work for you in multiple different ways once you find one that you love, and again that will be out hopefully at the beginning of September. Next up is this absolutely gorgeous 3/4 circle skirt with a button-up placket. This fabric was a gift from the very lovely Natida. She sent me a couple of pieces of it. She'd bought it and didn't think that she would use it, but it made her think of me, and I can't think why. But yeah, she actually sent this over to me, and I was hoping to get a shirt, that shirt, out of it as well, but unfortunately there just wasn't enough to actually do the shirt, although I'm thinking I might try and get some solid black cotton lawn and maybe do the Revere of the collar in this print possibly, or like add in some panels of this print to go with that, although I also want a black cotton lawn button-up tie front shirt a la the 9345 to go with this and other things as well. This looks really good with the gable t-shirt, which is what I've styled it with in the cutaways, but this will also look great with pink tops, teal tops, actually khaki green tops, yellow tops, all of which I have in my wardrobe. So this is going to be a nice versatile piece. I do love a button-up skirt. I use the Emily Hallman tutorial to add the button-up placket to the skirt, which I will list down below. I also use my 3/4 circle skirt tutorial to actually draft the circle skirt to start with. So very happy with this one. It's going to be a really versatile piece. I just love it. I think it's really beautiful, and thank you again to Natida for sending me this fabric. Next up is a piece that I actually don't have down here with me, and it is my Annette handbag made from the Mora faux leather from Emmeline Bags with the recessed zip, and there is a sew along for that up here. You can see one poking down the end there. This is the original with the zip up top, which is not my favourite, so I have remade the bag completely with the recessed zip in, and I have to say it's a much more pleasant thing to sew. That zip, getting the zip in there and getting it looking perfect and even is, I find, really difficult, and I've made 6 of them. So I have tweaked the pattern a little bit, added the recessed zipper in it, and I much prefer it, and I'm using that bag daily. This one my niece is getting, so I need to get that packed up and sent out to her, but that was the next thing that I made in July, ready for the sew along for you guys, and again that is going to have been up there and also listed in the description down below. Next up we have the Dirindo Melilo shirt, which I am shirtception here. I absolutely love this fabric. I got this from the Textile Centre. It's a viscose linen blend, and I got it a very long time ago, so I'm very sorry I can't list to this one. It is absolutely gorgeous. This is my wearable muslin, and the reason that I used a fabric that I love as much for a wearable muslin is because I had cut out a dress that I knew I was going to love, so I'll talk about that in a little bit. This is number 4 on my make 9, the Dirindo Melilo. I really like this. I did a little styling piece with this particular shirt, which you can see in the review of the shirt here. I'm surprised by how versatile this is. I can totally see myself making a cream or a white version, whereas this one is a very smart shirt. This is a much more relaxed shirt. I can also see this being a great pool or beach cover up. For me, I probably would lengthen it just a little bit. I love it. Absolutely love it. There will be more of these. I'm so glad I put it on my make 9, and I am so glad that I made it up in this fabric and it's come out as lovely as it has. Very pleased with this one. Next up we have the Megan Nielsen Matilda shirt dress, which is a huge success. I had seen somebody make this particular pattern up in this particular fabric, but the green colourway, on Instagram, so I knew it was going to work. It was bobbin and based, and I'll list her Instagram in the description down below. I knew this was going to work, and I basically just gung-ho went ahead, cut out my precious fabric that I can't get any more of, and hoped for the best, and it's worked really well. I have made a few Megan Nielsen patterns in the past, 3 of them. This is my 4th. I had no idea if the bodice of this was going to fit me. I just kind of, like I say, just went for it and got really lucky. I would say if you've got precious fabric, make a wearable muslin first. Don't be me, but I was being very, like I say, gung-ho about it, and I love how it's turned out. The only thing I'm going to change for the next time I make this, and I will make this again, is I am going to cut the sleeve doodads on the bias. These are cut on the straight of grain, and they do wrinkle a little bit. Whilst they fit perfectly, they just wrinkle a bit. I have no idea if cutting it on the bias is going to help that, but I'm going to experiment. I also bought the pattern before the sleeve extension came out, so I need to email Megan Nielsen and just ask for the sleeve extension add-on, because they have included it in the patterns going forward, but they didn't want to charge as a separate add-on. The shoulders on these are drop shoulders, so they've changed the bodice a little bit and then they've added short sleeves to it. I can totally see myself making a long sleeve version of this with some more kind of like top stitching and a tower placket on it, and I think that's going to look awesome. Again, there is a full review for this shirt dress, so if you would like to learn more about this one, please go and check that out. Really happy with how it's come out. I did fully line the bodice because this fabric is just that little bit scratchy, and I'm glad that I did. I love it, and I'm going to wear this loads. It's absolutely gorgeous, and there will be more. Next up is the dress that I'm wearing. It's the Sew Over Eve dress. I think I have made 14 of these, and I think I still have 12 of them in my wardrobe. I love the Sew Over It Eve dress. It's definitely on a par with the By Hand London Anna as my tried and true palette cleanser. That's one of my tips when I get asked how I get over losing your sojo. I always say make something that you know you love, that you know fits you, that you've put all the hard work and effort into, you know that you wear. And I wear my Eve dresses an awful lot. This fabric, as I have mentioned, is a viscose linen blend that I got from the textile centre. I love how this has turned out. I think it's gorgeous. I will be wearing this lots and very, very pleased with it. And again, there is a full review on the Sew Over It Eve dress up here. One thing I will say is do not skip the twill tape stay that you put into the neckline. You have to ease it in, but it does help the neckline properly hug the body. I highly, highly recommend the twill tape because I finished this with bias binding, but underneath that bias binding there is a 1/2 inch twill tape that's sewn in at a specific length that you mark on the centre back, you mark on the shoulder seams, you mark on the yoke seams, and then you mark the length of the front crossover, and then you pin those in place, ease the front bit in, and it really does help this hug the body. So that's one tip for wrap dresses, and I'm going to try it on the next wrap dress that I make, which will be very soon. I will be measuring and making my own little twill tape stays for the neckline of my wrap dresses just to see if that will help them hug the body the way that this one does, because I never have any issues with this gaping away from my body. So don't skip the twill tape. We all know that I love Zimmermann, and we all know that I love shirt dresses. When I did my Zimmermann Get the Look for Less video, I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough cards, hopefully I will, I featured the pink Zimmermann fitted safari style mini dress. I absolutely love it. There is a Mimi G pattern that's come out since I did that video that has more of the features on it, but the pattern that I chose was the 7623 McCall's pattern because I owned it already, and it had the hip yoke piece, which was what I thought would make it a different sort of silhouette for me. I love how this has turned out. I have stolen the pockets and the flaps from the Matilda dress because they worked really well for me. I've just inverted the pleats on these ones like the Zimmermann dress. The pockets, or the pockets on the blue Matilda dress, the pleats are on the outside, but this is what Zimmermann had done, so I just copied them. And then these are the belt loops from the Deer and Doe Lezon trench coat, and I have stolen those to add on to this McCall's dress, and I absolutely adore how this has come out. I did round out the hem because the hanky hem was cute. It's not something that I overly love, so I wanted a rounded out even level hem because that's my preference. I put up a video yesterday of how I used that original pattern with all the little tweaks and add-ons to make it look like something that was inspired by the Zimmermann dress, because it's not an exact copy because there are things about the Zimmermann one that I don't particularly like. But I am over the moon with how this has come out. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I am surprised by how much I like the fitted yoke over my hips. I thought I was going to hate it. I thought I was going to have to try and tweak the skirt in some way to just add the skirt on, and I am so glad that it's worked out as it has. This is a chambray linen, so it's a linen viscose blend from Lady McElroy, and it is still available, and I will link it in the description down below. I have fully lined it in white cotton lawn. I think that might be the only thing that I would change for next time, is maybe have it either in a patterned lining or something that goes a little, isn't quite so stark, although I don't mind it. But the linen chambray is a little bit scratchy, and I have really sensitive skin, and if a dress irritates me even a little bit, I won't wear it. So I fully lined the interior of this up to the skirt with white cotton lawn, and then this, I had enough of the linen to cut out the waistband with the linen chambray, so I did that. I will probably always wear this with a slip underneath of it because that's my preference. So it's worked really well for me. Any bits that do touch my skin have got the cotton lawn next to them, and yeah, I'm going to make more of these. I'm already planning to use the foliage canopy linen chambray that I have for this dress and use some piping details to bring out some of the kind of like the yoke details at the front and the back. I think that's going to be gorgeous because the front is like the front yoke comes over the shoulder and you've got the details there. So yeah, I love this. There will be more of these. Super happy with how this has come out. Next up we have a definite experiment. This is the Grasser 775 top. I am not sure about this one. I love the little ruffle on the collar. I love the idea of this, but the sleeves join into the bodice at the waist. Now, Grasser patterns can be bought according to your height, and I did buy the correct size and the correct height, and I do think this fits me really well. I think that when you have a look at the images they've got online of this made up in a red fabric on that beautiful girl, it looks fabulous on her, but the same thing, the armholes or the bottom of the armhole comes to the waist. When you look at the digital image, it looks like the armhole comes up much higher, and I really think I would prefer this if the armhole came up higher. In all honesty, I have absolutely no idea how to amend that. I am not ruling out having a play because I do like this a lot. I think this is really nice top, and again, I mean I can steal this frill and add it onto something else, like, you know, but it's just the raglan sleeves with all the fullness over the shoulder, the really full sleeves. I just wish the armhole or the bottom of the arm side came up a lot higher. I think it would be more comfortable to wear. I could wear it underneath things more easily then, and yeah, it's an interesting one. Definitely an interesting one. My battery's dying, 2 sec. Hopefully I've not moved around too much. Yeah, if this was a little bit longer, then I could totally wear this as a cover up over a bikini again, especially in this lightweight fabric. This is a viscose voile that I got from the fabric room. It is still available. I had 5 meters of it. This took about 3, and I really struggled to cut this out because that fabric was stained and had lots of tiny little holes in it. And I'm not sure if it's my washing machine that's doing it or if I just got a faulty batch of fabric from the fabric room, but I'm really glad I've tried this. I'm not having much success with Grasser patterns. I have bought a lot of them. I think I have about 20, and I have had a few printed, and I'm slowly working my way through the Grasser patterns, but this is the second one, and again, it's not 100% success. I am going to be really interested to see the footage back of me wearing this with the jeans, but I think if the arm side came up underneath the actual armpit, I think that I could, and you could then wear it with a waistcoat. I think it might be more successful for me, but I don't immediately see how to do that, so I would have to have a play around with it. I'm just thinking maybe I'm not cool enough for Grasser patterns, like, because they look amazing, but the 2 that I have made, whilst I really like them, have not been huge successes. Although Natasha did take the jumper, I can't remember what, the 810, I think it was the 810 jumper. Natasha took that and loved it, so you never know, she might like this. She might end up with this one. I'm not 100% sure that this is going to survive in my wardrobe, but I'm really glad that I've tried it. The only other one that I have a twirl of is this French Poetry Lune dress, which is a copy of the Rixo dress, and again there is a video for that up here if you would like to see the making of and a little bit more detail about this dress. I love how this has turned out. I still haven't hemmed it. I need to hem it. I will hem it. It's going to happen this weekend, but I haven't hemmed it yet, which is why it's not been put into my bullet journal as a finished item, because it's not been finished quite yet, but I did finish it. I did sew this much earlier in the month. But yeah, I love how this has turned out. I love the French Poetry Lune pattern. They have just released a larger cup size range. I did a full bust adjustment to this, which I desperately needed. I am absolutely over the moon with how this has turned out. This is a very unusual combination for me. I like the polka dots with the floral. I would never have thought of putting this together if Natasha hadn't shown me that Rixo dress, so I'm very glad that she did, because I love how this has turned out. I will be making more of these because this is just a lovely pattern. It skims the waist nicely without being too tight, because in the hottest part of the year, which we are currently in, having things skim rather than cinch at the waist is very much more pleasant. So yes, love this. I did add the flutter sleeves, which I altered from the original French Poetry Lune dress sleeve. I am going to do a standalone video showing you guys how I flutterize a sleeve, so that will be coming out to you very soon. I have got 2 other things back there, a bodice and then a jumpsuit. The leg of the jumpsuit has had to be recut, so I don't know how I'm going to finish the other bodice without buying more fabric, but again, there will be a video coming out about that in more detail very soon. So in total I made 10 things in July, and That was quite a lot less than I had intended to. I know some of you are going to be disappointed that I didn't get to the trousers. I will. They are the next thing to be worked on and cut out, along with the deer and doe dresses. The pile of things is still over there and will be worked on. But I just ran out of time. I have done a lot more in-depth videos this month, which I have really enjoyed doing, and you guys have seemed to enjoy watching as well. So they take always so much more time than I think that they're going to. When I sit down to start filming them, I'm like, oh yeah, it'll be done and dusted in 20 minutes, and a day later I'm still editing. I'm really pleased with everything that I got done this month. I think my favourites are the shirt dresses. I have a special place in my heart for shirt dresses. I absolutely love them. Of all of the categories of the patterns that I have, I think the shirt dresses are the one that I have made the most from. I think the two shirt dresses are my favourites. But let me know in the comments down below which one's your favourite and why. And constructive criticism on the grasser top, let me know what you think. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!